I don't think we should talk about this.
Come on, why not?
People might misunderstand what we're trying to say, you know?
No, but it's a part of life. Come on.
Hello, and thank you for joining us once again for another Fireside Chat here in beautiful Philadelphia. Spring has finally sprung, the birds are out, the bees are out, and the nation's thoughts turn to love, or in Tennessee, to Sex Week. That's right, once again, we are talking about Sex Week. We've already got Sam giggling, so we're off to a great start.
There's going to be a lot of giggling because I'm 12, like
Yeah,
permanently.
right.
My emotional development is
That's
stopped
good.
right there.
It's Friday here, and beautiful day. Let's talk some Sex Week in Tennessee.
Okay.
All right, Sam, it seems like here at Fire, this is an annual rite of spring. We talk about Sex Week at the University of Tennessee at Knoxville. Really quick, what is Sex Week and why are we talking about it?
Well, I'm going to clue you in and our listeners to something that you may not know. College students are interested in sex. I know. Big CQC, you watch this and you learn something.
I feel like we should take notes here.
Yeah. So Sex Week is a week-long student-run series of educational or quasi-educational workshops about sex. I think that sometimes the titles and the salaciousness of the titles themselves are what get people's attention because it always gets attention. It gets negative publicity. Here are these college students. They're talking about sex. You know, this week there's been a lot of hoopla over the fact that one of the sessions is called Butt Stuff. You know, so
Isn't it Butt Stuff 2.0?
There's Butt Stuff and Butt Stuff 2.0.
All right, we got it on camera. Okay, so what happened? So the titles are deliberately provocative. They spark a conversation. They spark outside interest from folks who want to shake their fist and say...
Right, they spark a lot of like, these kids can't be doing this, talking about sex at our public universities.
Right, and Joe, what happens then? Once the negative attention is incurred, we get legislators in on the act. What's the story?
Well, you know, here we are talking about Sex Week again.
Right.
And it's not a game, not a game, not a game. We're in here, we're talking about Sex Week. You know, it started in 2013, I think, when we started seeing legislators concerned about Sex Week saying to administrators at University of Tennessee that if they didn't do something to stop it, that they were going to slash the University of Tennessee's budget. And we have engaged the legislature since that time each year to say that doing that would be unconstitutional. Because, you know, we're not just talking about the content of speech at the university, we're talking about student speech at the university with students' own activity fees that is not the funding that's provided by the university itself.
Let's make that point really clear. So the Supreme Court has issued rulings on this point that when students spend mandatory student activity fee funds, that's not the university funding, that is the...
That's the students' funds, and they can use it to express themselves how they see fit, and it's unlawful and unconstitutional for government actors to try to tell students how they can express themselves in student activities. They can't withhold money from college Republicans and give it to college Democrats. The content and viewpoints expressed with those monies cannot be determined by decisions that campus administrators would make, and that's clear as day in a case called Southport.
Right, so this is old settled law. You want to read the full opinion, check out our website. And if you want to read about how Fire has been weighing in on Sex Week since 2013, I remember writing the blog, it was just 5 years ago. We've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, we've had conversations with legislators about it, and I think one thing that I think this exchange really illustrates is that those same legislators that have come down on Sex Week also passed the best bill in the country respecting free speech rights and other free speech contexts on campus.
And that was in 2016.
Ending just last year, in 2017, eliminating free speech zones, making sure that campuses don't have overbroad harassment codes, ensuring that faculty members have the freedom to speak their minds in the classroom, and to ensure that student activity fees wouldn't be distributed on content and viewpoint discriminatory bases. So what it illustrates to me is that legislators aren't immune from the same type of blind spots that we all kind of share between having an appreciation for free speech, but sometimes having some areas of speech that they're uncomfortable with having protected, despite the court cases overwhelmingly saying that content has to be protected for important
The
reasons.
law is clear, but everybody, as you say, Joe, has got some kind of blind spot. When we hire folks here at Fire, we say sooner or later you're going to be called upon to defend speech that you don't like. Sam, does that strike you as a recurring theme in the work that we do here? I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that this situation is a great illustration of why this is something that we try so hard to drive home, why everyone, regardless of their viewpoint, needs to support free speech, because rationales used by one group of people one day is going to be the rationale used by another group of people another day. And that's what we see here. I was reading over some of the notes from, I think it was I don't know if it was a hearing. I mean, the legislators have been talking with some of the candidates for the Board of Trustees at the University of Tennessee.
Right.
And one of the comments that was made at this discussion was, well, there's a difference between free speech and debauchery.
Debauchery. Evil debauchery.
Now, I mean, how many times have we heard there's a difference between free speech and hate speech? I mean, sort of you can insert anything after there's a difference between free speech and blank, and it's going to be whatever that particular individual doesn't like, doesn't want to hear.
Right, I support free speech, but.
Dot,
And
right.
here it is, I support free speech, but this is evil debauchery.
So at some point, it's going to be your speech on the chopping block, which is why everybody should support free speech.
Viewpoint neutrality, content neutrality, let 1,000 sex weeks bloom. And we didn't even get into the obscenity standard. You can do all of that on our website, www.thefire.org. We wrote about this issue recently. You can read our blogs on it all the way back to 2013. And until next time, I think that's it. Any parting words, Joe, Sam?
I don't think so.
All right, happy spring.
For listening to
And I
us.
like the Allen Iverson shout out. I heard that.
Well, it's Philly time.
It is. Sixers.
So we have to. You can't let a blog like this and a video like this go without referencing Allen Iverson.
That's right. This is not practice. This is the real thing. All right, folks. Thanks so much. Have a good weekend.